Hey, good morning. It's Jeremy Sutton, owner of Vivian Physical Therapy, host of the Servant PT podcast. I help women 50 and over live a life full of health, family, and fun. So I want to talk about today how I know you can make your dreams come true. And I'm just going to give you some practical information or just basically a case study, if you want to call it that. And the case study is me. So I started a podcast back in June of last year. It'll be a year ago in a couple of days. So I started a podcast, had really no idea how I wanted it to go. I just knew I wanted to start a podcast because I wanted to talk to other professionals about servant leadership. So talked to my mentor, Greg Todd, and we came up with this idea to interview local medical providers, healthcare providers, fitness people, other therapists in the community, and just shine a light on people who are serving. And so that's what I started doing. I started out with him and a friend of mine in Fort Worth and just kind of bounced around a little bit, but then I started really focusing on people in Louisiana, in North Louisiana. And it's really grown a lot. And I think I had about 30 or 40 downloads on my first podcast. I had about 250 on the second one. Third one over the course of a year has gotten over 900, but really starting to get some traction with 300 or 400 downloads each, 500, 600. The last two of the last three have been downloaded over 1,200 times with the one that I published Monday of this week at 1,600 times so far. My complete downloads for the month of May are at 4,031. The first month I did it was probably at 600. So it's really, really grown in a year. And it just amazes me at how much, like, if we just take action on our goals, on our dreams, you really can accomplish them. So, I talk about how I feel like God has given me a purpose and God's given me talents that I should use to complete that purpose. And one of those is just talking to people and interviewing and just being open to let other people speak about what they love and what they're doing in life. And it really has just really blossomed into what it is now. And it really took shape when I started pouring myself into it more. And what I mean is just, realizing that these quick 5-10 minute videos that I do have some value for somebody. They encourage people. And so I just want to encourage you now to, if you have something to say, say it. Like if you feel like you're struggling with things and, you're going through some stuff in life that you maybe feel strange about or don't know if anybody else is struggling with that, I promise you somebody is struggling with the same things you are. Somebody is worrying about doing something like you are, and somebody wants to know the knowledge that you know. So just start sharing it. Facebook Live videos are easy to use. You can go live on YouTube now. You can do live on Instagram. You can record videos. You can put out a podcast like I do. It's very, very easy to put out a podcast. I didn't figure all this out on my own. So most of us feel like we have to write a book or we have to reinvent the wheel to get something accomplished. We don't. There's somebody else that's already figured out whatever the problem is that you're having. You don't have a how or a what problem, you have a who problem. And so the who for me was Will Boyd and Alex Ingar of Healthy Funnels and the Healthcare Digital Marketing Facebook group. Will wrote a book on how to publish a podcast, an ebook, and Alex helped me fix the images that I needed for my podcast to be published to iTunes. And so just because I had this dream and two other guys had already done it and were very helpful and gracious to serve me, basically, I was able to publish a podcast. And now my podcast has close to 13,000 downloads in a year. And look, that's nothing really to brag about. There's podcasts that get that an episode, that get way more than that. There's podcasts that have been downloaded millions of times. So I'm not trying to say that my podcast is the biggest or the best or anything like that, but I'm just saying that I had a dream, and from my house, from my clinic, from my bedroom, wherever I record, like I've reached 13,000 people. And I know that that's not, okay, so the 13,000 may be people downloading multiple times or clicking on the episode multiple times, but we've had 13,000 touches basically in a year. And so I couldn't do that. I couldn't reach out to 13,000 people at my clinic in a year. There's just no way. So if you have goals and you have dreams, definitely get after it. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that supported me and my family in our physical therapy business and our podcast. And just thank you so much for listening, and thank you for all the encouraging words that everybody gives me on Facebook and text message. So I really appreciate that. And we've got some awesome things coming up in the next few months. I have 9 women who are women's health experts that I'll be publishing their episodes in July and August, or August and September, I'm sorry. I have some military ministries that are local to Shreveport-Bossier that I'll be interviewing, and I'll be publishing those in July. And the rest of this month in June will be different sports leaders in our community for Shreveport-Bossier area that'll be talking about what they do for the community and how they serve in sports. So guys, thank y'all so much for all the support, and just thank you for everything, and keep listening and downloading. Thanks guys.